Hello and welcome to TVC News at 4. We begin with a report that says that Nigeria has received 826,000 doses of the R21 malaria vaccines by Gavi. That's the Vaccine Alliance. The official launch of the vaccines on Thursday was attended by officials of the Ministry of Health, the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, and development partners. Executive Director of the Primary Healthcare Development Agency, Muyi Aino, said the malaria vaccines were given as free as part of efforts to align with the global malaria vaccine rollout campaign. He adds that the first phase of distribution will begin in Kebbi and Bayelsa states. These states account for the highest malaria burden in the country. Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Mohammed Ali Pate, also says the vaccine rollout across the country will be part of efforts to improve the malaria control program in the country. Or to Jigawa State, where the medical teams at the Federal Medical Center in Nguru and Federal Medical Center Benin Kudu treating the victims of the fuel tanker explosion say they are working round the clock to stabilize the affected persons in their facilities. The Deputy Head of Clinical Services at FMC Nguru, Dr. Akiwomi Ademola, while speaking with TVC News, revealed that the health conditions of some victims have continued to deteriorate, with over 70% of their bodies severely burnt, and more than 70 victims are currently receiving intensive care at the facility. He explained that despite the challenges, medical teams remain committed to reviving the victims and that the hospital has mobilized additional resources to cope with the influx of patients. Governor Umar Namadi, who visited the hospital, said the government will deploy extra staff and equipment to ensure each patient receives adequate attention. Meanwhile, the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, has sympathized with Jigawa State government and families of the victims over the incident that occurred at Taura local government area of Jigawa State. The IGP, in a statement by the force spokesperson, Olumuyiwa Adejobi, commended the efforts of the police personnel and other emergency responders for their swift action in extinguishing the fire, evacuating the victims, and ensuring normalcy is restored in the area. While praying for the souls of the departed ones, the Inspector General of Police reassured the general public of robust sensitization programs on the hazardous effect of oil scooping and other similar activities to avoid recurrence of such incident. The Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, has met with a committee of former IGPs at the force headquarters in Abuja. The former IGPs present were Aliyu Atta, Sunday Enyidero, Mike Okiru, Mohammed Abubakar, and Alkali Baba Usman. The meeting provided an opportunity to dialogue for the purpose of fortifying the foundation of effective policing in Nigeria. It also promoted an in-depth exchange of ideas, highlighting a profound insight from past IGPs.
All of you contributed immensely to the growth and development of the Nigerian police force. And I want to assure you that we are building on the foundations that you laid. I also want to say that for about 1 hour that I have been in meeting with this retired Inspector General of Police, I found out that the engagement I had with them this morning had been the most useful engagement I've ever had since I became the Inspector General of Police.
Need experience, expertise, and the technical know-how to be able to discharge your responsibilities of protection of life and property. So that we have done, the Inspector General of Police will have his time to discuss that in details with his management team. I use the opportunity on behalf of the Committee of Retired Inspectors General of Police to thank the Inspector General for sparing time to see us and give us opportunity.
Away from that, the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, has formally signed the updated Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority procedure for the recordation of irrevocable deregistration and export request authorization. This revised framework also includes new procedures for the registration of aircraft, marking a significant step towards aligning Nigeria's aviation sector with global best practices. The aviation minister pointed out the importance of maintaining compliance with international standards, explaining that the aviation sector's ability to attract foreign investment hinges on efficient regulatory practices.
It was an entire system that collaborated to make this possible once they saw the importance of this. What we are doing here today is that having settled the judicial remedies completely now by the practice direction, we want to now turn attention to the administrative routes by which aircrafts can be deregistered. The NCA, the regulators, they keep a register for aircraft that are imported. Before you import every aircraft, you must write to the minister. The minister approves the importation of that aircraft and conveys that decision to the regulators called the NCA. Now, once an aircraft has finished its term in terms of the lease or whatever, and you want to take that aircraft out of Nigeria, you must go back to the NCA. They will now deregister.
In relation to registration and operation of aircraft in Nigeria, the main impact of the convention is the ability of the registered owner to request an irrevocable deregistration and export request authorization, and that's the IDERA, over an eligible aircraft. Nigeria is a contracting state to the Convention on International Interest in Mobile Equipment, the Convention, and the protocol thereto on matters specific to aircraft equipment.
The Managing Director of Northeast Development Commission, Mohammed Al-Khali, has empowered farmers in Adamawa State with agricultural machine and other farming items. He also reached out to vulnerable groups in the state with food and non-food items. Senior reporter Olabi Adenusi compiled this report.
This is a flagging off of distribution of palliative to people living with disabilities, farmers group, religious organization, and vulnerable groups in the state. The Managing Director of NEDC says the gesture is in line with the mandate of the Commission, aiming at bringing succor to the people of the state and the northeast geopolitical zone of the country. He is represented by the Adamawa State Acting Coordinator of NEDC, Fatima Bakari, who called on the beneficiaries and various groups to ensure equity and fairness in the distribution of the items to their members.
Agriculture is not just about food production, but it's also about job creation, income generation, as well as improving the overall sustainable development of the region as a whole. So on this note, I would like to say to the Adamawa State Committee on Food Security to ensure that these machineries reach the deserving farmers that will make the best use of it.
She added that the Commission has also embarked on evacuation and cleaning of drainages in the state to protect the environment in line with the global warming. On this spot, the chairman of the Adamawa State Food Security Committee, Dichi Gobe, who received the items on behalf of the farmers, commended the NEDC for their foresight.
We are always ready to partner with NEDC at any point in time. I also want to mention that we received 2,000 bags of fertilizer, which is already in the state store from the NEDC. And we want to assure you that the 3 senatorial zones will have this accordingly and to get to the grassroots farmers so that the food security of Adamawa State will be boosted.
Also speaking, Reverend Zidon Love, who represents the NGOs and Christian communities, believe that the gesture is coming at the right time.
People are going through adverse hunger in the land. So every little thing that one gets to support those kind of people is appreciated.
The items distributed include bags of rice, brocade, children's wares, blanket, processing machine, dish plow, working tractors, trailers, planter, harvesters, rice mills, fertilizers, among others, to boost food production in the state.
Well, that's TVC News this hour. For more updates on the stories we're monitoring, you can visit our website. It's www.tvcnews.tv. You can also follow us on our social media handles, Facebook, Instagram, and on X at TVC News NG. On YouTube, we're live at TVC News Nigeria. Thanks for watching. Sports Desk starts in a moment. Stay with us.